Words have power. Their meaning crystallizes perceptions that shape our belief, drive our behavior, and ultimately create the world around us. The power of words arises from the emotional responses when we read, speak, or hear them. Judges and audience members. Dr. Marty Groth once said, "Words have incredible power. They can make hearts soar, or they can make hearts sore." I agree, and I think our words not only have a great impact on others, but also ourselves. And with the assistance of the following 3 phrases, I would like to prove this theory. The power of gratitude is the first phrase that comes to mind. Japanese scientist Masaru Emoto performed some of the most fascinating experiments on the power of words in the 1990s. The results of the experiments were detailed in a series of books, beginning with The Hidden Messages in Water. In one experiment, Emoto tested the power of the spoken word. He placed 2 cups of cooked white rice in 2 separate mason jars and fixed the lids in place, labeling one jar, "Thank you," and the other, "You fool." The jars were left in an elementary school classroom, and the students were instructed to speak the words on the corresponding labels twice a day. After 30 days, the rice that was constantly insulted had shriveled into a black, glutinous mass, while the rice that was thanked was as white and fluffy as the day it was made. This dramatic example of the power of words is a true confirmation that our words have the power to make hearts soar or soar. Throw away words is the second phrase I'll be using to prove my argument. How many times a day do we throw our words away? We say things like, "I hate my hair," "I'm so stupid," "I'm such a klutz." We never think that these words bring negative energy into our vibrations, and yet they do. I read on website Psychology Today in an article, "The reason water experiments are so successful," that a lot of experiments that test human psychology were conducted with water. Why? Because sound travels through water 5 times faster than it does through open air. Now consider the fact that your body is over 70% water, and you'll begin to understand how fast negative words hit our vibration. Ancient scriptures tell us that the power of life and death is in the power of our tongue. And as it turns out, that's not a metaphor. The last phrase that comes to mind is "say that again." According to the book, 7 Habits of 7 Highly Effective People by Sean Covey, some of us are in the habit of repeating negative words over and over again out of habit. The problem is, the more we read, speak, or hear a word, the more power it has over us. Because the brain uses patterns and consistencies as a way to make sense of the world around us. Only after being burnt a few times do we really understand that fire is always hot. And odds are you may not remember the end date of the Civil War, but you still remember what 8 times 9 is, because you had to drill your times tables over and over again, putting it in your subconscious mind. I'm sure we've all experienced having a song stuck in our head all day long, and try as you might, you can't get that melody out of your head. Repetition is a powerful tool to implant stuff into our brain. Judges and audience members. Dr. Marty Groth once said, "Words have incredible power. They can make hearts soar, or they can make hearts soar." I agree, and I think our words not only have a great impact on others, but also ourselves. Firstly, if words have the power to impact rice, it certainly has the power to impact us and others. Secondly, the vibration of negative words travels through water faster than through open air. Lastly, the habit of repeating negative words to ourselves and others leaves a lasting imprint. If we're not fully conscious of what we're exposing ourselves and others to, consistency will trump truth every time. Now consider the fact how many times a day you falsely called yourself or someone else stupid, untalented, or ugly, and you'll begin to understand how your internal bias shapes a false self-image.